Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prayer. In this video today, guys, I'm going to go over a topic that is very controversial. Matter of fact, it separates people daily from others' company. But the fact is, the truth is the truth. What we're going to cover in this video today is the name of Messiah. This is extremely important because so many people are lost in the mix today as to Messiah's name. And if one does just the least bit due diligence, you can actually find out the truth of what Messiah's name is very quickly and put it to rest. But people want to hold tightly to traditions and to falsehood because it's been received to them from the past. Now, what I'm here today to do is to clear these things up and show you what is scriptural truth. This is important. There's only one name given under heaven among men whereby we must be saved, and it is Yahushua. Most people will say Yeshua. I'm not going to get an argument match about that, but that name right there on the screen, which I don't speak no more, is not his name. Now, please be patient with me and bear with me through this video. I'm going to put up information and lots of different things so that you can research this information to see if it be so for yourself. Also, there's a great article link down below in the video description that I encourage you to read. It can build up on a lot more information than what I'm just showing you in a glaze over today. Okay, so to begin with, one last point I'd like to also share is that I did a video about who the true Hebrew Israelites are, the blood descendants of Abraham. Messiah is not white. This, I know I'm dropping a lot real quick on a lot of people possibly if you're watching this, but you need to watch that video on the iCard there because the true Messiah was a dark colored man. Okay, and we need to put Rome away. We need to put the whitewashing away. We need to put all this away. We need to be honest with Scripture. We need to be honest with ourselves. Now, that video is a long documentary. It's about 30 minutes long, but it will help you on the path to understanding that. What we're going to focus on today in this video is just the name, because the name is what really matters at the end of the day above all things, because the only name given among men whereby we must be saved, Acts 4:12. Okay, that name Yahushua means Yah is salvation, or Yah saves. Okay, he said he'd come in his Father's name. All right, well, he came in his Father's name, but this JC name out there today is not it. All right. Also, one last thing to keep in mind is there's no J in Hebrew. Okay, there's no J in Hebrew, so it's automatically a red flag. Okay, so how did this name right there on the screen be given to Messiah? How did this become so whitewashed? Not only the name, but the color and everything. Well, you can thank the Roman Empire, actually the dying Roman Empire, turning into Constantine's world, his empire. In 325 AD at the Council of Nicaea, not only did we see a lot of books be taken away from canonized scripture so that people could study it and see and read it for themselves, but we also seen that those books were removed, such as, for example, many of the books that you'd find that are controversial today, like Yashar, the Book of Enoch or Hanok, all these things being removed from the side of people. And at the same time, the new deity being formed by Constantine was JC, that name given there, was his creation. And you'll see this, but you're going to have to go and study these informational links after this video. You're going to have to go and see these things for yourself. Okay? So, why, we see in prophecy that, the times and laws would be attempted to be changed, but the names is something else that once one does their due diligence to study the ancient things, we'll see that was also tried to cover it. But why? Well, it's very simple. This covers up the opportunity for one to seek out salvation. Now, I don't want people to be misconstrued as to what I'm saying. We believe, there's many who believe in Messiah. They've accepted his sacrifice. They've even called on that name there given before. But it's the effort of the heart in reverence to the Most High Yah and accepting his Son, believing on him, keeping his commandments. But once one comes to the knowledge of the truth of Yahushua, that name, it is time to put away the falsehood that we've lived by. Okay? Now, what happened is that the name given right there, and as you can see, the Greek, that is a combination, and lots of scholars over time, actually, after studying deeply on the Greek, have found that that term literally means, as you can see, given right there. And forgive me for subtitling so much. I'm just not going to say these false deities' names. Now, the following reference to this, you can find right here below, and they had pretty much 5 prospect names that at the Council of Nicaea that they had determined down that was going to be what they wanted, one of those names as their new deity's name, that was going to be the representation of the so-called Christian church. And as you can see right there, there's those 5 names listed. And so Constantine pretty much had the supreme authority at the end, and to bring in the British island factions and those that were part of the westernized Roman Empire. The name right there given was kind of what was being settled down upon, but this name was placed in manuscripts and at that point was given out as canonized scripture. Now, the because of Constantine, this deity, combination of actually 2 deities' names, amalgamated together, then once injected and infused into so-called canonized scripture, this became received throughout the Roman Empire. This became the headpiece of Christianity, should I say. And to this day, church houses will still say that name, yet they will shortly thereafter say Yahushua HaMashiach or Yahushua Messiah, yet knowing that, I mean, how many times do you hear somebody call somebody a name and then the next minute later you hear them say another name for them? That makes no sense whatsoever. You don't see that done in public. You don't see that done in society. You don't see that done in the world. What it is that it's still using the paganism and then trying to place holy with that which is profane. That's exactly what it is. People, we cannot serve 2 masters. Okay? Now, what I have here before you on screen is, you can see this was a seal that was found of Hezekiah. It has Paleo-Hebrew writing. We can find the name of Yahweh in Paleo-Hebrew in manuscripts and texts. It's not beyond the capability to find the ancient Paleo-Hebrew writings. Once one understands and knows what the Paleo-Hebrew writing and the name of Master Yahweh, the great I Am, then his son's name should be similar like unto Yahushua. Yah is salvation. And as one continues to study and seek this out to see if this be so, it's very easily to understand that one of the things that's given in like textbooks, for example, for that name given there is Joshua. Well, if we go over and we look at Joshua, we actually find that in like a Strong's Concordance, it's like Yohasha. So actually that doesn't have anything in accordance with that pagan false name. So more than one studies whether it's Paleo-Hebrew and sees that the ancient writings, just as what we find in scripture today, that the word will say that there for the Most High Yah's name, when it should say this name given right here. So, the more that one studies scripture, we can see that not only from the King James Version Bible back to ancient times, that there's many things that are not in place that should be. One reason why I support the Hallelujah Scriptures Bible so much is because they've taken time to go back and place that which is righteous, which is clean, back in place of that which is profane and unclean. And the writings, the more one that studies, the more it sees that Christianity is a pagan religion. I know this is going to hurt real quickly, what I just said, but the way, thus saith Yahweh, the way of the scripture, the ancient writings, when we find what has been Christianized, we find that the deities, we find deities that not only what's written in scripture is not in line with the Most High Yah, but the name ain't even right. The names, for that matter, are not even right. They've been replaced. They've been covered over. And it's one that does their due diligence to backlog. Not only do we see that this, the Messiah that his color has been covered over the centuries, has been transitioned to this individual's name given right there, that was actually European, that the image given to the so-called Messiah today that we see so predominantly used throughout the world is actually that individual's name right there. And as that one looks at that, then they find out also backlogging that the name of Messiah himself has been given to the in the text today is from omigation of false deities, and it's not the Most High Yah's Son's true name. As we keep backlogging this, we find that it all began at Nicaea in 325 AD. You can further look in 321 AD, the banning of the Passover season. And as of today that I'm doing this video on, unleavened bread, that was also banned by Constantine. We can see as that Constantine's empire increased in time and then diminished, as that it increased with time, that all these things very slowly, the truth was covered over with paganism and to infuse and unify the Roman Empire. Constantine was no fool. He was actually one of the wisest wicked men I've seen throughout the pages of history. He had the ability to seize multitudes of people under one rule through false deity worship. This is very, very, very dangerous, because what has went down centuries, hundreds, and even thousands of years ago now is still alive and well in Christianity today. I encourage you to return to the old paths. We've covered so many topics over the years: the Creator's calendar, the seven trumpets, who the true Hebrew Israelites are. I have nothing that I want to hide from the people. I have no reason to hide these things. I only want to know that which is truth and follow in it. When I found out that the Master's name was not that which is given in the pages of Scripture today, but was wrote, what was written in Scripture today is given right there. But what his true name was is this. Then upon further observation and study, I found that what is given in Scripture today for the Messiah's name right there is actually this name given right here. So once one sees this, this should be a warning sign to further investigate. Because should there be any error whatsoever, do you want to rest your salvation in belief on a false deity? Ladies and gentlemen, we live in the last days where the most confusion is taking place. Men are running to and fro, and knowledge is increasing daily, just as the Scripture had prophesied. But more and more people want to hide their eyes from truth. They want to walk in darkness, and I don't understand why. But if you're one of the people under the sound of my voice today, I encourage you to go and study these things out to see if they be so. Whom do you serve? That deity's name there of Rome, the white man, a white false deity? Or do you serve the true Hebrew Israelite Messiah given right there, Yahushua HaMashiach, Yahushua the Messiah? Whom do you serve? Whom do you reference? Messiah taught us to worship the Most High Yah. But yet the other deity that is found in Scripture today, that name right there, everyone worships him as a deity. They give worship and praise and adoration to him, when the true Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach, expected us to believe on his sacrifice, but honor and worship the Most High Yah. There seems to be a conflict of interest here that people better put to rest very quickly. Because if you're not serving the right Messiah, you may not see the kingdom that's to come. I hope this has helped to you. Make sure to study further the references and the information given below in the video description. And until we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua name.
Shout out to Seven Trumpets Prepper. This is just a re-upload, brethren. And this is the scriptures he was talking about. You can download it for free, or you can order online. I recommend it. They did the best they can to put the oldest translations back in the Hebrew names and translations to combat, Christianity, Constantine. And this is what it looks like when you download it. Yeah. So it's in my community section. If y'all want to download it for PDF, I recommend it. I really recommend it. Or ordering a handheld. I have a handheld too. So yeah, but this is a re-upload, brethren. It's funny, when I re-uploaded this time, it wasn't a lot of commercials. It was no commercials. Maybe because I already went through the video. I don't know. But what he's saying is true, man. That Council Nicaea, Constantine, a lot of these other nations, they came together, right? Those that tied to other nations, they came together to create that deity's name, Jesus Christ, you know? And remember, Constantine got a vision of a cross, which we know was from Tammuz and Semiramis and Nimrod. See how Satan, he double up his tactics through people. He uses people's mind. He used Constantine's mind. And they were already serving false gods. The Greeks and Romans, they were already pagans. And then the Protestant movement, the Roman Catholic Church, the Protestant movement is still keeping the pagan practices. A lot of these secret societies, knowledge still passed down to keep people in bondage to these religions that serve entities, demonic forces, graven images. So, we're required to grow in spirit and truth. The whole point of all these Christianity churches now is to have people worship the anti-Messiah, and to go to hell, practicing lawless, living however they want, including worshiping false god, deity worship through paganism. So, yeah. All right, brethren, I believe that is it. This was a short one. Praise y'all. If you can, check out my false Messiah programming. Let me see if I can find it. This right here. This video right here. Check that video out. All right, brethren. Be blessed and praise Yah.